So next type of sorting is Radix sorting. Okay, so this is the prerequisite of counting sort. If you know counting sort, then only you can understand Radix sort. If you are not able to understand counting sort, first study counting sort, then try to study Radix sort. Okay, so we already discussed about some of the drawbacks of counting sort. That is, for example, we already discussed about if the elements are of negative values are there, or if the elements are of floating numbers, then it is very difficult to perform counting sort. Also, if the elements are in different ranges, in this case also counting sort is difficult. So in that particular case we can use Radix sorting. Okay, so here you can see the array elements, they are not in a proper range. Okay, 432 is there, 8 is there, 530 is there, 90, 88 and so on. So in this elements, which is a small biggest element, 677 is the largest element. Okay, so 677 means 3-digit number. This is a 3-digit number. Okay, so in order to perform sorting by using Radix sort, you need to pass, you need to perform 3 passes. You need to perform 3 count sorting. Okay, so this is a 3-digit number, so you need to make all the numbers as a 3-digit number. Here 199 is a 3-digit number, 677, 45, so you need to make 45 as a 3-digit number by adding a 0 first. Here 3-digit number, make it 3-digit number, like this you need to add. Okay, so this is our array. Now we are going to perform Radix sorting. Okay, so here I already told you we need to perform counting sort by taking each and every element of a particular number. We are dividing the element, we are separating each and every digit of a particular number. Okay, so we are performing first pass of counting sort by taking the last numbers of each and every number, then take the second last number of each and every element, then taking the first digit of each and every number. That is, 3 passes are required to perform Radix sort, to perform sorting of all the elements in this particular array. So like counting sort, we should maintain a count array. Here the range vary from 0 to 9. Normally we are taking the numbers 0 to 9. Okay, so range is 0 to 9. Okay, so we need to maintain the count array. So in counting sort, we are initializing all the array elements with 0. Okay, so you need to create a count array, 0, index 0 to 9, 2, 3. So initially we are assigning with 0. Okay, then we are going to traverse the array elements and we are updating the count array. Okay, so how to perform traversing? So in this case, in pass 1, we need to take the last digit of each and every number. That is, take 2, here 8, here 0. Like this, you need to take last digit of each and every number. So we are traversing this array. So this is a looping variable I. So I is equal to 0. A of I means here we are taking the last digit only, 2. Okay, so go to the index 2 of count array, then increment the value by 1. We are updating the count array. Next, I is equal to 2, which is equal to 8 here. Go to index 8 of count array, increment the value by 1. Okay, then again 0. 0 is here, so update the value. Go to index 0 of count array and update the value. Then next is again 0, so increment the value by 1. Then 8, increment the value by 1. Then 1 is here, increment the value by 1. Then again 1 is here, increment the value by 1. Okay, then 5 is here, go to index 5 of count array, then increment the value by 1. Then 7 is here, go to index 7 of count array, increment the value by 1. So this is the same case that we already discussed in the counting sort. That is how to update the count array, how to enter the values in the count array. Then finally you can see 9, go to count array and increment the value by 1. Okay, so this is our count array now. Now we are going to update our count array. Okay, so how we updated count array in counting sort, likewise you need to update the count array here. Okay, so updated count array, updated count array. So how to update? You need to write the first value as it is, then you need to take the next value by adding the previous value. So 2 plus 2 equal to 4, 4 plus 1 equal to 5, 5 plus 0 equal to 5, 5 plus 0 equal to 5, 5 plus 1 equal to 6, 6 plus 0 6, 7, 9 and 10. Okay, so this is the updated count array. Now we are going to take this updated count array and this particular array in order to perform sorting. Okay, so here how we are sorting in count sort, we are traversing the array from left to right. Okay, so in the pass one we are taking the element in the LSB. Okay, so we are taking 9, 7, 5, 1 etc. Okay, so we are traversing the array from the right side. Okay, so what is the value here? So I is equal to 9, a of 9 is equal to 9, go to index 9 of count array, decrement the value by 1 and go to the corresponding index of final array and store the value. Store the value of a of 5. Okay, then again decrementing the I value. Now I is pointing to the last digit of this element, that is 7. Okay, that is I is equal to 8, a of 8 equal to 7, go to the corresponding index in count array, that is 7 here, then decrement the value by 1, then store the value, that is 677 in index 6. Okay, then decrementing the I value by 1. So I is equal to 7, a of 7 is equal to 5, go to index 5 of updated count array, decrement the value by 1, then go to the corresponding index of final array and store the value, that is a of 5, that is 45. Then again decrement array, decrement the index I is equal to 7 minus 1 which is equal to 6. Here it is 1, go to index 1 of updated count array, decrement the value by 1, then go to the corresponding index of the final array and store the value of a of I. What is the value of a of I here? 11. Okay. Then next I is pointing here. Okay, then I is equal to 5, a of 5 equal to 1, go to index 1, decrement the value by 1, then store the value a of I here, that is 231. Now I is pointing here, so I is equal to 4, a of 4 equal to 8, go to index 8 of count array, decrement the value by 1, go to the corresponding index of the final array and store the result here. Okay, then again decrementing the I by 1. So I is equal to 3, a of 3 equal to 0, go to index 0, decrement the value by 1, go to the corresponding index of the final array and store the value, store the a of I value, that is 90. Okay, so 0, 9, 0 is storing in 1. Then next is again decrementing the I value. So here 0, go to index 0 of the corresponding count array, then decrement the value by 1, go to index 0 of array B and store the value. That is, you need to store 530 here. 530. Okay, 530 here. Then again I value is decrementing. So a of I equal to, a of 1 equal to 8, go to index 8 of count array, decrement the value by 1. Value by 1, go to 7, index 7 of array, then store the result. Okay, then again I here, so 2, go to index 2 of count array, decrement the value by 1 and go to the index 4 of array B and store the result, that is storing 432 here. So after pass 1 you will get the array like this. So this is our current array elements. Okay, so first pass completed. Next we are going to perform second pass, that is sorting the second digit of each element. Okay, so this is our array now. Okay, so you need to take the second array element of second digit of each element. Okay, so again repeat the procedure. So pass 2 you need to maintain the count array. So how we are updating the count array? Initially we are putting 0. Okay, then traversing array. Okay, so we need to copy the array elements, B elements, array B into A. Okay, so this become A of I. Okay, so first we are taking the first element, that is 0 index. We are traversing this array, so I is pointing to the first index. So taking the second element, so it is 3, so go to index 3 and update, incrementing the value here. Next I is equal to 1, so an element is 9, so go to index 9 and increment the value by 1. Next is 3, go to index 3, incrementing the value by 1. Next is 1, that is iterating I. Okay, so iterating the for loop, so I become 3, index 1, so incrementing the corresponding count array. The next is 3, go to index 3, incrementing the count array. Next is 4, incrementing the count of 4. 7, incrementing the count of 7. 0, incrementing the count of 0. 8, incrementing the count of 8, and incrementing the count of 9. So this is our count array. Next, what is the next step? We need to update this count in order to set the position. Okay. So how to update the count array? Write the first value as it is. Then next value, how to take the next value? Count of I plus count of I minus 1. So count of I is equal to 1. 1 plus 1, which is equal to 2. 2 plus 0 is equal to 2. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. 5 plus 1 equal to 6. 6 plus 0 equal to 6. 6. 6 plus 1 equal to 7. 8. 10. So this is a count array now. Updated count array. Now we are using this updated count array and this array in order to perform second pass of Radix sort. Okay. So how to perform sorting? We need to traverse the array from the last element onwards. So I is pointing here. We are taking the second element. Okay. We are taking the second element of second digit of each element. So I is equal to 9. A of 9 is equal to 9. Go to index 9 of updated count array. Decrement the value by 1. So 9. Then go to the corresponding index of final array and store the result. Okay, so first you need to traverse the array from right to left. Okay, then go to the corresponding element and take the element second digit and go to the corresponding index of the count array. Then decrement the value by 1, taking this as the index, and go to the corresponding index of the final array and store the value of a of I, that is 199. Then decrement the I value by 1, so I is equal to 8, that is 8 here. Go to index 8 of count array. Now index 8 is equal to 8. Decrement the value by 1. Go to the corresponding index of final array, that is 7. Then store the result here. Then I is equal to 7, that is 8 minus 1. I value decrementing. I is equal to 7. 0. Go to index 0 of count array. It is 1. Decrement the value by 1. Okay. Then go to index 0 final array and store the result. What is the result? 008. Okay, then again I value is decrementing. I is equal to 6, a of 6 equal to 7. Go to index 7 of count array, decrement the value by 1. Go to the corresponding index and store the value of a of 5, that is 677. Then again I value is decrementing. I is equal to 5, element is 4. Go to index 4 of count array, decrement the value by 1. Go to the corresponding index, that is 5, and store the value. What is the value here? 45. Okay, then again I is equal to I minus 1, that is equal to 5 minus 1, which is equal to 4. Element is 3. Go to index 3 of count array, decrement the value by 1. Then take this as the index of the final array, that is go to index 4 of array B, then store the value, that is 432. Okay, then again traversing, I is equal to I minus 1, 4 minus 1, which is equal to 3. The second element is 1 here. Go to index 1 of updated count array, decrement the value by 1, go to the corresponding index, go to index 1. Okay, then store the result. Okay, then next is I equal to 2, value is 3. Go to the third index of updated count array, decrement the value by 1. Okay, go to index 3 of final array and store the result. That is, here it is 231. Then next is 9. So okay, I is equal to I minus 1, I equal to 2 minus 1, which is equal to 1, and middle element is 9. Go to index 9 of updated count array, decrement the value by 1, go to index 8 of final array and store the value. Then I is equal to 0, 3 is the element, go to index 3 of count array, updated count array, decrement the value by 1, go to index 2 of final array and store the result. So this is the array element after passing second pass. Okay, so by now we need to copy these array elements, B array elements to A. Okay, now this become the array elements of A, array A. Okay, so next we need to perform the pass 3, third pass, that is taking the MSB values only. So we sorted by taking first digit, in the second pass we sorted by using the second digit, and in the third pass we need to take the third digit of each and every element in the array. Okay, now this become the array A. Okay, so we need to set the count array. So how to set the count array? Initially we are putting 0 to all the elements of count array, then we are traversing the array. Okay, we are traversing the array. I is equal to 0, A of I equal to 0. So 0 is repeating one time, so increment the 0 by 1. So 0 is repeating one time. Next is 0. Okay, I is equal to I plus 1, that is equal to I equal to 1. Then A of I equal to 0. So go to index 0 and update the value of count of 0. The next is 5, go to index 5, increment the value. Next is 2, increment the value. Next is 4, incrementing the value. Next is 0, incrementing the value. Next is 6, incrementing the value. Next is 0, again incrementing the value. Next is 0, again incrementing the value. The next is 1, again incrementing the value. So this is the count array. Okay, so next, what is the next step? We need to update the count array in order to set the position. Okay, so we are updating the count array. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, this is the updated count array. So first we need to write the value, first value as it is. The next value is this 1 plus this 1, 6, 6 plus 1, 7, 7 plus 0, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 plus 0, 10 plus 0, 10 plus 0. Okay. So this is the updated count array. Now we are taking this array and the updated count in order to perform the sorting. Now how we are performing sorting? Counting sort here. We are traversing the array from right to left. Okay, so I is pointing to index 9. So we are taking the MSB values of each element. So I is equal to 9, A of I is equal to 1. Go to index 1 of count array. Index 1 of count array. Decrement the value by 1. So 6 become 5 here. Go to index 5 and store the value. So what is the value? 199. Then I decremented, I is equal to I minus 1, that is I is equal to 9 minus 1, which is equal to 8, and the MSB here is 0. Go to index 0 of updated count array, decrement the value by 1, go to index 4 of the final array, and need to store the A of I value. What is A of I? 90. Then again I is decrementing, I is pointing here, I is equal to 7, A of I equal to 0, go to index 0, decrement the value by 1, so go to index 3 and store the result, that is index 3, it is 88. Then again decrementing the value, I equal to 7 minus 1, which is equal to 6, first element is 6, go to index 6 of count array, decrement the value by 1, go to index 9, then store the result. What is the value? 677. That is the value of A of I. Then again I is here 0. Okay, I is pointing here. I is equal to 5. That is 6 minus 1, which is equal to 5. First element is 0. Go to index 0 of count array. Decrement the value by 1. That is 2. Then go to index 2 and store the value here. Okay, that is A of I, which is equal to 45. This 45. Then now I is pointing here, A of I is equal to 432. We are taking the MSB only. So index 4, go to index 4, decrement the value by 1. Okay, that is 8 minus 1, which is equal to 7. Go to 7th index of final array and store the result, 432. Okay, then next is I is pointing here. A of I equal to 231, M must be equal to 2, go to index 2 of count array, decrement the value by 1, that is equal to 7 minus 1, which is equal to 6, go to index 6 of final array and store the value here. Okay, so what is the value? 231. Then I is pointing here, A of I equal to 530, M must be is 5, go to index 5, that is 9, decrement the value 8, then store the result here. That is in the index 8 you need to store 530, A of I. Okay, then next is I pointing here, A of I equal to 11, first value 0, go to index 0, decrement the value by 1, so go to index 1 of final array and store the value here. Then 8, index is 0, go to index 0 of count array, decrement the value by 1 and store the result. Now check whether the array is sorted or not. Now this array is sorted: 8, 11, 45, 88, 90, 199, 231, 432, 530, 677. Okay, so like this we need to perform sorting by using Radix sort. So in Radix sorting, what we need to do first, here we are using counting sort. Okay, so we are splitting the element, we are dividing the digit, each digit. Okay, first you need to find the largest number and checking how many digit is that. You need to convert all the numbers into the corresponding digits. Okay, if it is largest number is 3 digit, you need to make all the numbers as a 3-digit number by adding zeros at the beginning. Okay, so normally the range varies from 0 to 9. If we are splitting, each and every value is in between 0, from 0 to 9. Okay, so count array, the range is from 0 to 9. Okay, then normally we are setting the count array by initializing it with a 0, then traversing the array. Whenever we are seeing the value, we are incrementing the corresponding count. Okay, then we are updating the count array by putting the first value as it is, then taking the next value by adding 2 plus 2 4, 4 plus 1 5, like that. Okay, then we are taking the updated count array and the actual array in order to perform sorting. So for performing sorting, we need to traverse from left to right, right to left, in order to maintain the stability of the sorting algorithm. So what is stability of sorting algorithm? So I forgot to explain this in counting sort. In the counting sort, we sort two 9s. Both are same values, but this 9 should be placed before this 9. Okay, so in order to perform like this, you need to traverse the array from right to left. Okay, so for maintaining the stability of the algorithm, we are traversing from right to left. Okay, right to left. Okay, so this is a 3-digit number, so you need to make all the numbers as a 3-digit number, and you need to perform pass 1, pass 2 and pass 3. Pass 1 counting sort, pass 2 counting sort and pass 3 in order to get the final sorted array. This is Radix sort.